Hello and welcome to Petra Media. I'm Terrence. Today we have a new addition to the studio setup. I didn't plan on picking this up. It was one of those things where it was kind of time for me to finally pick up a new piece of gear. And I ended up buying something that I didn't anticipate getting brand new, for that matter. And we can talk about it. Now, if you saw the short video, you learned that the Roland Phantom X6 was on the chopping block. I didn't want to sell that keyboard. I've had it for so many years and it's one of my favorite keyboards. This is my second one. I picked it up about a couple years ago. The first one I picked up back in 2004 or 5 and I had it for about 5 or 6 years. The Phantom X is such a beast. It actually made well over 400 of my tracks that were placed in TV and film. Like, it made a lot of records. It's an amazing piece of kit. But with me looking at the newer MPCs and newer gear, and with all the native instrument stuff that was included into the MPC hardware, I kind of realized that, you know what, it is finally time to step forward. The chord progression features in the MPC is pretty good, which eliminated pretty much that feature from the Phantom, which is one of my main things I loved about it. I can create stems in standalone or in the software, which also eliminates the Phantom because I have to track everything out of the Phantom. And I know some purists will say, no, you want to be able to track everything out, but honestly, I can get the sound to sound good without having to track it out anyway, so I'm not that worried about that side of it. There are times when I will want to track the sound out, and I have ways to do that, but right now, not a priority since the Midas is already gone, and its replacement isn't coming till summertime. What did we end up doing? It's on the table. And I'll turn the camera around in a second, but just know that we also traded into Studio 2 because as a controller, it was nice, but I kind of wanted to learn a little bit more about the standalone features. So I did pull the trigger and pick up a device. So what did I get? Hey, this is me from the future. I had to cut into the video because I just realized that I forgot to add some shout outs and people who helped me make the final decision on which direction to go in. So I wanted to give a quick shout out to Curry Case, Altruist, Ghetto Styles. Those are the brothers that basically helped me rationalize a couple of different things. We had a whole bunch of conversations about the differences with all the different devices and the needs that I had for my studio setup and whether it made sense to go with the bigger one or the smaller one, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And of course, Malo Beats, Marlo Diggs, and Bolo. All of their videos were just very inspiring and helped me make the final decision on going with the One Plus. So back to me from the past and we'll continue the video. I picked up an MPC 1000. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't pick up an MPC 1000. I picked up an MPC One Plus. Brand new. Because of the trade-in with the Phantom and the Studio 2, I was able to pick up this. And I'm going to run with the 1000, the 5000, and the One Plus. And we're going to check it out. I haven't opened it up yet, so we're going to unbox it together. So I want to point out that this is my first brand new MPC since 2001. In 2001, I bought the MPC 2000 XL brand new. I haven't bought a new machine in forever. So this is my first brand new machine. And the packaging is nice. I'm not going to do a full unboxing video because there's tons of those out there already. I wanted this to be something that no one else had touched. And for a while, I actually considered just buying it used, but my local Guitar Center actually gave me such a great deal. I wanted to get something that didn't have any issues because it was a newer MPC. I wasn't sure I wanted to deal with repairing anything from anybody else, and I did look online at all of that related to repairing the MPCs, and these newer ones are kind of tough. Not impossible, I don't want to do it. I thought about it for a while and decided I just didn't really want to be in that space. So this is my One Plus. Now, side-by-side comparison of the two, the One Plus is pretty sizable. I didn't expect it to be as big as it is. It's weird. It's smaller than the 1000 width-wise, but it's longer, but the pads are definitely smaller, but I can get past the pad situation. I was fighting it for a minute. Just so you guys can see, I'm gonna line them up like so. The 1000 is a little bit wider, that's a little bit taller, and side by side, depth-wise, the 1000 is bigger. So there's that, but that doesn't tell the whole story, of course. The 1000 has its features that make it amazing. The MPC One Plus has its features that are gonna make it amazing. I'm a clicky guy. A lot of people don't like the clicky buttons. I'm a clicky guy. The 1000 has clicky buttons, the 5000 has clicky buttons. I'm fine with the clicky button situation. Even though I'm not a huge fan of the red, I think I can get past the red. If not, there are solutions for the red. So we'll get to that if there's an issue. But overall, I'm looking forward to trying this out. It's definitely different. And I saw how to change the pads on this. I don't want to deal with that. I just didn't want to deal with that. Compared to this is so much easier. But again, technology changes. As technology progresses, components get smaller, you can pack more in. The only thing this is missing is a battery built in. I really wish it had a battery built in. I think that would have sent it over the top. Other than that, I'm not upset. I'm excited about this. Plus, I've been looking forward to trying out the standalone for a while. I've done a lot of research on this, and honestly, as much as I would have loved to have gotten an X, it just didn't make sense financially for me to buy the X at this time, especially when the One Plus or the Live is basically the same machine without the extra encoders or the extra ins and outs. And I really don't need the extra ins and outs. It's just not something that's necessary for my current setup. Some people need it for the way they're doing things, but for the way I'm doing things, it just wasn't really a huge priority item. So I'm looking forward to trying this out. As I mentioned in the video, I've been excited about trying this thing out for a little while. I do a lot of research before I make purchases. I actually started looking into buying this about a year ago. And before I picked this, I literally went through all of the options, all of the features, all of the different things. And I just kept coming back to the fact that there is no difference in the machines at this time. And I love flagship models. That's why I got the 5000. We're not gonna get into the whole thing because every time I bring up that being a flagship, because it was for its time, everybody wants to get on the whole 4000 thing. We need to get out of that mindset and realize the 4000 was the flagship for its time, 5000 was the flagship for its time. The Renaissance was essentially a pseudo bridge between the two hardware software scenarios, and then the X has been the flagship for its current time. That's just the reality. When you look at it from that perspective, and you look at all the things you get with all the machines, outside of the ability with the X to pretty much get almost all of the plugins, you know, it just, for me, it wasn't a huge sell on all the plugins. I mean, I have a ton of Arturia stuff, I have a ton of UVI stuff, I have a ton of Korg stuff, I have a ton of Native Instrument stuff. I have so many instruments that are already really solid, and then having the MPK 249 to connect with this in the MPC2 software, whether it's standalone or in the software version, it became really obvious that I needed to let go of the Phantom. So I'm really happy with the decision, and I'm excited to try this out. I don't regret it one bit. It is sad to see the Phantom go because I love that keyboard. And I will tell you every day, if you wanted a keyboard and you weren't a person who really wanted to get into like the newer stuff, I would say get it. If you're looking for a keyboard and you wanted to get something that was an all-in-one, get a Key 37. Or if you're a keyboard player and you really want more keys, get a Key 61. Those are solid for somebody who's starting out and really knows how to play the piano or wants to be able to get into synthesizers, and you have the drums and the keys all in one. And for the price, it's really solid. It makes sense. The Phantom is perfect for somebody who's like used to playing gigs. They don't want to deal with load times or any of those type of things. So this, for me, made sense because I don't do gigs like that anymore. I have young kids. I'm basically dad when I'm not in the studio. So for me, this made perfect sense. And this is gonna make my production work for film and TV a lot easier because I've been getting used to the MPC2 software. So now I get to compare the two. You know, how does the standalone compare to the software? I already know the software version is way more powerful. And you could fight me in the comments on that. You will always lose because the facts are the facts. It is way more powerful. At the same time, standalone is easier to use. So that's why people prefer it more. The logical course is to use the standalone hardware with the software, and you get the best of both worlds, and that's my plan. I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for following. Like, share, and subscribe, and catch me in the next video.